Hi Summoners and welcome back to the 2018 LVL Spring Term. My name is Vulcan and with me it's Atlas. Thank you so much for tuning in again for our playoffs. So coming back from our Game 1 Atlas, we did see how AMA QC Clash Masters really performed great in that Game 1 because in Game
they really
1,
showed up.
I thought that for FIT, they have what it takes to control the early phase.
Yeah, but it seems like they made a lot of questionable decisions in the early game and then they just threw the ball in the late game, or rather the mid game, and causing it to snowball against their favor because they made a lot of decisions there. Wrong decisions with data, decisions with not enough data from like vision, wards, and callouts. So right now they have to fix that. They have to be able to control the early game. They have to be able to know what to do with the information they gather from their vision. They have to actually have a good information network of wards around the map, because if they don't, then that's going to be really hard for them to win this, because it seems like AMA has been pulling out all the stops right out of the bat here for this game, best of 3.
I think when it came to the small mistakes that AMA had was the fact that Zoe has been picked up countless times, right? But for FIDI Tamaraos, I felt like Zed tried his best.
Yeah.
Tried his utmost best to carry his team, but in a way, it's not going to happen. But let's see in game number 2 how it will pan out.
Yeah, definitely. Zed was one of the key ways that FIT tried to claw their way back into that game, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. The Zoe alone is not enough to carry the entire team in that instance, and Rindo tried as well, but he was doing pretty well in the early game, being able to push Relapse and Kenfrost in, but come level 6, come ganks from Zoe, then it's so hard to be an AD carry, even if you are Lucian, being jumped on multiple times by the last breath, by the jungler. So all that is just going to be very tough. Of course, AMA banning out the Rakan here, and of course, respect here for Arfing's Gangplank. FIT banning out the Yasuo this time, so is Irelia, both decently strong. Actually, Irelia very strong in the 8.12, and AMA still banning out that Trundle. Seems like
one of the
out.
powerful bruisers we see normally in the bot lane, which is the Yasuo and the Irelia, but look at that, still same bans throughout the game number 1. The Gangplank and the Trundle won't be available for picking here.
And Arfing is a little is pretty proficient in that Gangplank, but I wouldn't peg it as like something that you need to ban straight up, because the meta right now is champions like Gangplank can't really thrive, because in the early game he does have decent fighting potential and trading potential, but if he gets jumped on very early in the game, it's just so hard to survive. Of course, AMA prioritizes the Swain, pretty powerful champion all around. But FIT showing their cards, showing their cards in their very first pick. That is going to be the Master Yi, and that will be the Taric locked in as well, just to secure that combo. So they're going to go for that strategy where you pool all of your mid lane resources onto the jungler Master Yi, which gets his own jungle camps as well, which means a very overfed and overleveled Yi. Let's see how they execute that, because in the all the previous matches, whether it's pro like in Conquerors or in semi-pro, like even in LCL, we saw that the other day. I think I haven't seen it succeed. I haven't seen it succeed in any shape or form in the Philippines, at least, well, especially in competitive play.
I did see it succeed during the Hyperplay qualifiers.
Yeah.
I did see it succeed when it comes to adjusting to how sometimes we would see a Taric and Yi, but sometimes we did see a Taric, or rather a Yi and a Kale being used in. So they have found success, but not to a point at the same level as the Taric and Yi. But now, let's see. This strategy, guys, if you are wondering, actually works if you know how to play around the map. Let's see. Does FIT have what it takes to execute the Taric and Yi properly? That will be the question you guys need to watch out for, and maybe they will answer it as the game will progress. But for now, guys, let's get straight to phase 2 for our game number 2.
Seems like that will be the Darius here, banned out against Spells and the Fiora. So really, lots of respect onto Spells here. One of the very key members of AMA. As for AMA, they'll be blocking away the Ornn, and it seems like it's because Ornn is a very safe champion in general, and I think it goes very well with the Yi strat. because that AoE knockup coming in from the Call of the Forge God from afar sets up so very well for Master Yi. Lulu banned out as well.
But this means that the Mundo is still open for any team to get. Yes, the Ornn is powerful for team fights, so AME will try and deny that. At least they have picked one of the crucial tools. The Morgana, the Taric is one of the supports that can really help boost this Master Yi.
Because just being able to be immune to that CC while that magic damage shield is up is very helpful for that Master Yi. Seems like FIT, they do lock in the Cho'Gath, which means they're not going for the Dr. Mundo. Very likely. As for AMA, I like the Fill 6 from the first rotation of picks here, because if Dre comes in without a black shield, then that fear is going to make him run away quite far. As for AMA, Niebe, he's going to get the Zed here, and it's one of the champions he's most comfortable with. And let's see, AMA, instead of going for the Jace, they go for the Kennen here. So lots of flexible picks here coming from AMA.
We'll see how things will pan out, but for once, I think we're seeing the Kennen returning to his patch 8.12, but knowing how FITI Tamaraos are going for that Master Yi boosting strat. So you can see how, you can picture what they're going for, guys. I mean, you have a Savior with on the hull, you can see the Cosmic Radiance. Yeah, so let's see. If ever for Clash Masters, they were able to shut down the Yi very early in the game, this is going to be useless. So this is FITI Tamaraos really betting it all in on this Master Yi Cup. Let's hope they will find great success. But if AMA can manage to shut it down or deny or kill it twice in a row, that's more than enough to just remove that threat altogether.
Yeah, because unlike in the games, like in that game in Hyperplay, that was less the combination of Yi and another champion and more of the other champions actually doing well, the other players doing well in that game. But it doesn't seem like Sivir, he's more on the hunt and lots of wave clear, but I don't think she has super carry potential. That if the Master Yi fails, you have that fail safe of the Sivir. But let's see if FIT can execute this composition well. As for AMA, they have very solid win conditions in a team fight. They have 3 circles of death. That if they set it up against FIT after or possibly quickly before the Cosmic Radiance procs, then that can be their good game plan here. And of course, Niebe on that Zed here has a lot of opportunities to possibly take down Dre even before the invulnerability pops here for Dre. So coming in from this composition, it's going to be really interesting because picking up the Skarner for Zoe, if he's able to shut down the Master Yi early, then it's great, but they have to push that advantage and win before the Master Yi gets the QSS. But of course, let's see how it all plays out, how our teams execute their plans in this Game 2 of this best of 3 AMA QC Clash Masters versus FEUIT Tamaraos.
So on to game number 2 of our match 1. As Atlas said, they will depend on items for a way to enable this Yi, but note that I don't think they need a QSS because they do have the Black Shield. Maybe this Yi can go for more important items such as the Blood Razor or the Goodness Rage Blade. So for FITI Tamaraos, I want to see how they will execute the Taric and Yi combo. But note that it's all about funneling your gold down to the
top
Master
side.
Yi.
Lots of pings coming in. Seems like they have successfully snuck themselves into FIT's jungle. Arfing doesn't know what's coming.
Arfing just may get cheese there, gets fear, gets pulled back in by the Swain, forcing out a flash from this Cho'Gath.
That was a very big whiff coming in from Zoe. That stun did not hit Arfing at all. That went wide and was not able to secure the kill. I think if they got the stun there, it would have definitely been a kill. But there, AMA burns a few summer spells on Kenfrost, just Kenfrost actually, and Arfing is able to get out of there with his flash. Very unfortunate for them, and it doesn't seem like they were able to get any deep vision on Dre's jungle, so that's unfortunate as well for AMA.
They won't risk anything more because for AMA, they know that they burned the splash from the Cho'Gath. That's more than enough for them. They are happy to take it away, Atlas. But again, the main point for FITI Tamaraos is that they cannot afford to be behind in this specific game. Not only, guys, we are at match point for AMA Clash Masters, having 1 point of the best of 3 series. This Master Yi and Taric is very delicate. It's so fragile because if you ever fall behind and you cannot execute it properly, your late game is pretty much gone.
It's very, very difficult because that means AMA can just get the drop on you. So they have high damage, of course.
Does not have a flash, will be stunned there, and that's going to be an easy pickup, perhaps for the first blood. One more hit right there, and that's going to be Spells picking up that first one. Looks like the flash burn in the early phases, Atlas did reward them that easy kill.
Yeah, a little bit delayed. Could have shared the gold a lot more, but of course that's going to be great for Zoe and Spells to see if Nieve can try and do something, but it doesn't seem like they want to deal with Dre and Set just right now. Just go straight for the farm here, and of course this is going to be the point where they funnel the cannon wave onto Dre, and that's going to be really huge. As soon as more waves come towards him, the more he collects these waves, going to rack up over time. Let's see if they can make a move with it.
I wonder though, because what Clash Masters is doing right now is to slow down at least the top lane. They don't want to worry about the troll guys. They don't want to worry about the ball lane. They are really focusing on pinching their focus down to the mid lane, because you will see these Master Yi scaling pretty well. Level-wise, you may have an advantage, but at least they are making spells. One of the players that we have to watch out for in AMA side that will be the key for them to at least go for a 2-0. But for FIT time around, they are really gambling it hard with this G-Strat.
So far, nothing has gone super wrong here for FIT. Of course, Spells got a kill, but Arfing is not bothered by that too much. He is able to sustain himself back up and face Spells with only a 400 gold lead on him. And Dre, he's still farming strong, and I like the topside vision that FIT placed down earlier just to really defend his topside jungle, prevent anything funny coming in from Spells and Zoe, because Spells was applying a lot of pressure on the topside and getting priority, and having that topside vision means that FIT is able to move a little bit freely on topside. So now Dre will get another wave here. This is just going to keep going for the clear on his waves as he continually pushes in.
Don't stop, keep going, and always farm till you reach those items, because just keep farming. That's the game for FIT. Make Dre the fattest member in his team. Funnel all that gold, all the resources down this mastery, and you will find great success. But those like Clash Masters, this is actually predictable, so that they know that the mastery won't be able to gank any lane, will be really focused in the mid lane. So AMA, they made use of that. That's why we saw a first slot gank going in the top side for Spells.
Supplying a lot of pressure, and they're pushing in FIT bot lane as well, making sure that Rindo and Neil aren't having a nice time. The Rindo behind by one wave at least here, and they are pressuring them very, very hard. It seems like so far Zoe has not had ganks further other than the one for Spells in the top side. So that's one way that you can counter this. But of course, Penfoss and Relapse.
Ooh, Neo is forced to flash away. He is taking from that Ignite, but it's okay for FITI Tamaras. All they're doing right now with the Sivir and the Morgana comp is that they are also doing the same thing as the mid lane. Wave management, in the sense that they don't want to be left behind too much, so at least the Sivir has the safety to clear down the waves.
Being able to survive being pushed in here, being able to match the waves that are coming in from Relapse and Ken Frost. So far, Zoe still trying to go for that level 6, and there he can go for the ganks while Dre is busy farming himself up.
And you can see Rindo is running that teleport. That's the game right now for Itamaras. Funnel the cooldown to the Yi, control the other lanes, because you cannot expect a gank coming from Dre. So far though, they're doing a good job. No deaths on their side, but it's only a matter of time where the level 6 will happen for Zoe, and we may see some ganks happening.
That is something that you might be able to see if Dre gets impaled somewhere deep into AMA territory. Even with the invincibility, it might be difficult for him if he gets locked down without a black shield coming from a Neil roam. So that could be one way AMA tries shutting this down early, cutting it at the bud. But of course, let's see how Zoe responds to this. He's almost level 6 actually.
You know, this is great for Itamas. Not only that the Zed has really weak wave clear, this makes it easy for FIT to stall that lane and freeze it so that the target can let the Mastery catch all the ways. But wait a minute.
They might try a 4v2 bot lane.
Yeah, they're all level 6, so...
Or they can try an invading Seth and Dre, knowing that Seth is not yet level 6.
Predator is up. Zed has been locked down. Looks like the Yi will be taken down. Low. It will be the target flashing away there. They're focusing on to Zed first. Dre is forced to use the Highlander, trying to escape from the AMA's invade. They're going to engage. They're going to force out the flash from the Skarner. The blue buff has been taken away by the Swain. A response coming from the bot lane.
Definitely good read there coming from AMA. Only took down Seth, but that's actually good enough for them. That's an early aggression that will hamper FIT just a little bit. They knew that Seth can't possibly go for the Cosmic Radiance because he was still level 5. That's one of the costs of really pulling all of the resources and sharing XP with Dre there. So very good call by AMA. They were not able to take down Dre himself, unfortunately, for AMA, but they're going to go home with a blue buff stolen as well as a little bit more gold onto Relapse.
Okay, you can kill the Yi by this point. Might as well just take away the resources. That's what AMA did. They're pretty much happy with that. But it's only a matter of time where Niebe will feel confident diving in because Zed is very behind. They don't have the Cosmic Radiance unlocked just yet. But we'll see how FIT will play this out. Okay.
Let's see.
Close call for the CB right there. Looking at the map, no ganks may happen here in the bot side.
Yeah, not really, because Relapse and Ken Frost, they're constantly pushing Rindo in, but they can't quite dive because it's very dangerous to dive onto Neil, and that gives Dre a free counter gank if he's around the area, and that's going to be more gold onto his side. They can go for a fight here. But Rindo and Neil, they have a pretty good potential here against Relapse if they don't play it carefully.
But Adas, let's check in a minute. Okay, looks like it's going to be the Fiddlestick going in hard. Rindo is forced to flash away, but it's okay. They took down the Morgana. Neil has been killed in the bot side. And then will be AMA, Kenfronts, and Relapse pushing in the waves in the bot side.
I was stressing playing against them carefully, and their FIT just walks up to an unwarded brush where Fiddlesticks can just go in. Ken Frost goes in with his ultimate, goes for a surprise party.
Look at that. I mean, for Skarner, for Zoe, he's not trying his best to gank the audience, but at least he's trying his best to pinch the resources, take away the camps. You saw that Zoe invaded the red side of the Itamaraos.
Has to be careful though. FIT, if they give AMA a lot of free room, a lot of leeway to dominate the other places in the game, say if they gank more for spells, or if Relapse and Ken Frost, because of that early lead they got from the invade, that could be the key here. If Dre does not have his proper support system set up, then that is a very dangerous position for the Master Yi. You don't have to take down the Master Yi per se, but if the Master Yi is taking to a point where he doesn't have his support system, it's very difficult. But of course, Dre making sure to be very efficient with the resources, taking away a lot of these camps coming from Zoe. That's actually a lot of XP and gold. And he is going to funnel more resources to himself from mid lane, so he's growing at a steady pace here.
But at the same time, Atlas, the map is wide open for Clash Masters to take away this Herald because they know that the Yi is not going to get any lane. No pressure from the jungler because right now, Itamaraos is betting everything on the Master Yi.
It seems like they might want to use it mid lane to try and pressure Seth and Dre and take control of this, this center of the map, which is super important.
They might just do that. Seth does cancel his recall.
It's very risky.
Predator has been popped. Dre may be the target for AMA. They're really focusing now on this Master Yi, but it'll be Neil responding to zone out the 3 members of Clash Masters.
If Dre got caught by the Impale there, because he was separated from Seth, and Neil was still on his way, but at that point, AMA was not able to catch on to FIT. Seems like they still want to make a move, possibly in bot lane.
For Clash Masters, they're doing a good job here because they know that they can make some room for themselves around the map. trying to make them Yi a bit nervous, but looking at the CS, look at that, 64 to 131.
They want this 5v2 dive.
Oh, that's all. Deathmark going in hot to Neil, forcing out the ultimate from the Morgana. Ignite is sticking. It won't finish him off. Nyebe's quite low, but hold that thought. Okay, Nyebe will finally take down that Morgana, same as for the bot lane outer turret.
Really abusing the fact that Drake can't really counter gank too much. All he can do right now is go for that farm, and here they get a pretty good deal here. A turret and a kill for the Rift Herald. Not the most value from Rift Herald, but good enough at this point in the game, and they can push this 4,000 gold advantage at 12 minutes here. If they can go for more moves against other members of FIT, leaving Dre dry, then that could be one way they play around this. And because once all the pawns are taken down, the king is very vulnerable.
But for FIT, they're still trying their best to protect their prize, that Master Yi. It's great that Clash Masters were able to take down the first turret on their side. It opens up the Infernal Drake for them to take some control. Knows that the first Drake is Infernal. I'm pretty sure that Dre really wants to take them for extra stats, but for Clash Masters, seeing how they do have us, they do have dibs right now, and they have control over the bot side.
So
it's good.
Ken Frost misclicking his stopwatch right there, but it's still going to be them controlling this area of the map.
That's going to be huge, Atlas. I mean, you don't have your stopwatch anymore.
Now, that's actually huge for a Fiddlesticks right there, but he doesn't seem too bothered by it. They're going to still try and push in this mid lane, have a lot more control over that area, and then subsequently they can go for that Infernal Drake. Zoe waiting around the wings, seeing if there's an important target. He doesn't want Neil. He doesn't want Set right now. He wants to go for gold and go for Dre, but let's see how they go for this mid lane.
The tower has been feared. Window is trying to use best to pinch Ken Frost away from the turret. A bottom lane wave is going to crash down hard. Will Dre respond to that? But wait a minute. Nyebe has responded in the blue side. Dre,
has to be careful.
My god, forcing out the Cosmic Radiance from the tower.
That's big. That's going to be at least a minute where AMA has free reign. And very good there on Nyebe. He could have gone for it and possibly gotten a kill because the Cosmic Radiance wouldn't proc fast enough.
Oh dear, this is bad for FIT.
A little bit of restraint. Yeah, this is very bad. If AMA can capitalize on this, but of course Rindo with his wave clear is doing pretty well. And however, Nyebe, look at that damage on that turret. This is gonna be even more global gold once he gets this. Just a little bit more, while the rest of his team, they're pinging onto this mid lane, opening up the map further. This bottom quadrant of the map will be in AMA's hands, but his spell's going in.
Oh god, look at Spells going for the flag there. There's going to be the slicing Maelstrom, forcing out the flash from the Morgana, but it'll be the Swain following up, and now it's going to be AMA just demolishing the mid lane for FIT. The tower still stands, but Nyebe will suck on the damage. That's going to be Nyebe. It's taking a bit too much. Should have respected the tower, and now it's going to be FIT losing 2 members. But for AMA,
they're satisfied with that.
They're pretty much happy with this. I mean, not only that they're pitching the Master Yi, but they also take away the showdown with the Impale. Spale is going in with a cannon. It's going to be a lockdown.
This could potentially be another turret in their hands, but it seems like with Set and Rindo now around the corner with their wave clear, they can push them away, but they won't get out of here with at least putting down some vision, some control, as well as taking away resources from Dre. And in that moment, FIT knew they screwed up. Like, of course, Set, very good reaction to try and deny Nyebe the kill earlier, because that was a lot of burst damage onto Dre. That's why I was saying Nyebe, even with the Cosmic Radiance, even with the Black Shield, it doesn't stop full physical damage with tons of lethality from Nyebe.
Yeah, I mean, Atlas, you could say that, yeah, we don't have that damage, we don't get any damage dealt to us. CC, we're free, but do you have damage to deal at this point? Because look at the Yi.
Yeah.
Does not even have the Rage Blade. You talk about AMA having a lot of damage, but FIT has the tools. That's correct, but I want to see FIT fight back for once.
Yeah, because AMA, that was almost 3 whole minutes where they didn't have Cosmic Radiance, and AMA exploited it beautifully by going straight for the turrets. And look at this.
5-8 on the Yi. The most fed member, the Swain, has 6-5. So I think they're not that far behind. Don't let the kills deceive you.
Like Nyebe as well has a lot of gold in his pocket, matching what Dre has in his quite well. So at this point, Dre doesn't have too much going for him. As you said, it doesn't have the Rage Blade quite yet, so doesn't have the huge steroid that he needs. So this is still the point where AMA can still try and make more moves, because even if Dre gets his combo with a Black Shield and Cosmic Radiance, the rest of his team can really survive through this, because Rindo, he has a little bit damage. He has the Storm Razor.
Yes, he does have a Storm Razor. Arfing is getting slowed down. But there is the Rupture Drake, gets the Black Shield, won't be impaled, forcing out a teleport respawn from Spells. Immediately we're seeing 4 members of AMA responding to the top side.
They will get top lane turret though, but that is going to be the Demonic Ascension taken out for a little while. AMA will back off, but once again, Rindo, it seems like he's going for more of a in and out type of thing here with a Storm Razor, being able to wave clear with his spells. Ooh, Seth might be in trouble.
And this is the Taric you want to keep alive to use the Cosmic Radiance. Now he's gone, so who's going to protect that Master Yi here? FIT iTimer is not really using the Master Yi properly. I mean, now he has the Rage Blade. Could this be the starting point for FIT to take back this game,
They have to make it happen somehow, make a pick. Because they have the Morgana, they have the Sivir, they have good pick potential, but it seems like AMA at this point is just traveling in a pack and making sure that they do not get isolated, so FIT can't funnel pick off gold onto Dre here. And look at that, Spelt and the split pushing as well, very well. Ooh dear.
Arfring, you get caught there. It's slow. He is sticking from the Ignite, gets the heal and the shield from the Taric, and a stun will connect on 2 members of AMA, forcing out the Cosmic Radiance. Could this be the point that FIT wants to get some kills? He goes in, will the Amber Strike, but it expires. He is gone. The most fed member, the treasure of FIT, is down the drain. You have lost all your investment.
That is going to be huge for AMA as they take down this mid lane. This is going to be an inhibitor as well. Rindo and Arfing will not be enough to defend against full five members of AMA. They can potentially go for more, but it seems like right now they will possibly transition to bot lane here, just get out of the borders of the base, shove in that huge wave that's already going on, but seems like right now they're more suited to getting it. But look at this. Already, before the fight, so much damage taken by Dre there, and he still jumps in. The moment he jumps in, the Cosmic Radiance has already worn off. There's no Black Shield on him. Easy pickings for the rest of AMA because he just dove in. Arfing was not there to try and distract and disrupt members of AMA for him. And generally, the Rindo doesn't deal enough damage to be relevant in that fight. The Storm Razor doesn't seem to be working out too well here for this Sivir pickup.
And not to mention, Atlas, we're seeing how the cannon has a lot of items stored in. I mean, Proto Belt, Zonia's Hourglass. Okay, you're going to get the shield from the Morgana. That's great, but that's not going to matter when the cannon goes in with the Slicing Maelstrom. The Black Shield will expire immediately. It's going to burn through it, so you don't have that immune to CC. And for Taric, I guess for timing-wise, FIT does not have it on the dot. You saw how when the Yi engaged, that exact moment he engaged, the Cosmic Radiance ran out. So when it comes to coordination, FIT needs to time it properly next time, if there is a next time.
However, I think they're way past the point where they can win. I hate to say it like this, but FIT is way past this composition's prime. Look, we looked at the gold earlier, and multiple carries of AMA have more gold than the overfed Dre.
Here it comes. There's a Black Shield now giving the kill towards Rindo. They'll try their best for the pickup there. The Morgana will bind down this corner. This will be FIT going for the pickup there. So has been picked up by Dre. Okay, Atlas, we're seeing a small start for FIT,
yeah,
but
small
still,
start.
It's a 10k goal league going to Clash Masters.
Yeah, that's a real mistake there from AMA. Splitting up, because the way that they were winning the previous fights is by traveling as a pack, as a group. That way, no matter what Dre and Rindo do, no matter what damage they do, it's not enough to fight back. AMA needs to group around these objectives. Their spells didn't have his teleport, and Yebe was quite far to respond. So they just need to continue traveling in a group and pick off, or rather force a fight against FIT, because FIT cannot fight back whatsoever in a full-on 5v5 or 4v4. So they need to be able to travel as a pack here, and Spelt, his teleport is down, and he's moving around Ocean Drake here. I think they just need to force something around top side or bot lane, because that's where they can just dive onto FIT and they can't do anything. Ooh, Niebe.
Going out to Afric, just poking him down. So, Alice, you did mention about timing and damage because, let's face it, AMA has ways to just quickly turn the tables against FIT. Let's say the Cosmic Radiance runs out. The Zen can just go in with the Death Mark and just burst down Dre. Dre does not have enough items to even call himself a huge threat. It takes time for him to take down any key targets.
And it's not really huge potential here. They can possibly go for another pickoff, but they have to be careful. They don't have...
Teka lang, yung sa mid lane na pressure din sila.
They don't have enough to actually take down Ken Frost and Relapse. And mid lane, they're taking lots of pressure here. They could be pincered potentially.
FIT not playing the map properly because AMA, they're forcing them to retreat, forcing them to defend this.
They're forcing them to dance here against their will. And FIT moving back and forth, trying to see where should we respond. It seems like they've already taken a lot of damage here in this top side turret. And look at that, still constantly pushing in. Niebe and the rest of AMA making moves to make sure that FIT doesn't get any sort of breathing room whatsoever.
So far, Atlas, we still see hope for FIT. But for AMA, as you said, Matt, they're pretty much ahead. They have a lot of items. Pretty much majority of the carriers have enough tools to just melt the Black Shield, melt the Mastery as soon as the Cosmic Radiant goes down. So, iTimers, how are you going to play this timing game? I wonder. I mean, everyone's wondering right now
in a
how
full
they can
fight.
come back.
Yeah, in a full fight, FIT cannot win. They have to make sure that if AMA makes a mistake, they immediately pounce on it. Because if they don't, that is going to be quite a predicament for them because they cannot win a full 5v5. What happens if they get the right combo, the right timing? AMA can live long enough. Yeah,
oh boy, Black Shield was a bit too late there. Cosmic Radiance coming in hot. FIT, this is your window to deal some damage. Your window to take someone down. Dre is forced out of the fight. Fleeing, he's scared, he needs to back up, but it'll be AMA sending him to the grave. Looks like FIT has lost that fight. A sweet triple going to the swing.
And that is going to be game. That's what I was talking about because Dre, he cannot actually deal enough damage within the time frame of his invulnerability. Relapse is too tanky and he has health regen. Niebe can just dance out with his shadows outside of his range. Zoe is tanky as well and Spells is stunning him. And everything falls apart for FIT at that moment because they were not able to capitalize on Dre whatsoever. And here, this Nexus is going to blow up as AMA wins this best of 3 2-0 against FIT Tamara.
What a clean match we saw here, Atlas, as AMA QC Clash Masters will move on to the semifinals and will face against USD Teletigers. I mean, Atlas, AMA QC Clash Masters, they were one of the teams that we picked to be the best, right? One of the strong teams entering for the summer term because they have the original roster. You expect great things from them. But when they entered this at 6th seed, I was pretty curious what happened. But looks like our doubts has been cleared here because they have taken down the 3rd seed, which is FIT Itamaraos.
Definitely. I think that was great coming in from AMA and really disappointing coming in from FIT. They were making a lot of mistakes, and I don't think they fixed any of the mistakes they made in Game 1 coming into Game 2, and that caused them to get swept completely by AMA Clash Masters here. And of course, with the format of our playoffs, it's going to be UST Teletigers Esports Club versus AMA QC Clash Masters in the semifinals tomorrow.
So Atlas, this is what I love about the new format. Just because you're top 3, just because you're top 2 does not guarantee you the spot at the finals, because you're going to be going through the semifinals first with the winner of the quarterfinals. As you can see on your screens right now, next match would be DLSU Veritas Arcus versus ADU Penguin Authority.
That's going to be quite an interesting match. All of these teams coming in from top 3 all the way to top 6, they were around the middle of the pack before the tiebreakers, and now this is just even more chances for them to prove that they can go beyond the middle ground here, beyond the curve. So I'm going to be waiting a lot to see how that plays out. But for this match, that was quite the show from AMA.
But for AMA, they really handled it well. They knew their condition. Not to mention FIT, I don't think they have used the strategy properly, but we'll see. Maybe other teams in LVL will have better chances. But for now, guys, we will be moving on to a short break. Match number 2 is coming up next with Veritas Arcus versus ADU Penguin Authority. So We have been the Shotcasters. My name is Vulcan. With me was Atlas. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching the 2018 LVL Spring Term Playoffs. So after the short break, we'll continue on to match 2. See you there.
Long enough. Yeah,
oh boy, Black Shield was a bit too late there. Cosmic Wind is coming in hot. FIT, this is your window to deal some damage. Your window to take someone down. Dre is forced out of the fight. Fleeing, he's scared, he needs to back up, but it'll be AMA sending him to the grave. Looks like FIT has lost that fight. A sweet triple going to the swing.
And that is going to be game. That's what I was talking about, because Dre, he cannot outside of his range. Zoe is tank as well, and Spells is stunning him, and everything falls apart for FIT at that moment because they were not able to capitalize on Dre whatsoever. And here this Nexus is gonna blow up as AMA wins this best of 3 2-0 against FITI Tamara.
What a clean match we saw here, Atlas, as AMA QC Clash